Okay, so welcome back, folks, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like when we left off, we were gonna go out and explore the wilds of this little particular island. Well, looks like we get a little tutorial here about how the rationing system and how the game's system works outside of the city. So essentially, we have a limited amount of turns, and it kind of plays out like the what's the games this series? I think it's like the what do you call them? The Heroes of Might and Magic series, where essentially you get a limited amount of turns to kind of play through. So it looks like we ran out of turns or paces for this particular turn, so we're going to have to make camp, and yeah, camping tasks, all of that good stuff. And well, we will essentially have to set up camp, do some of that stuff. So it's essentially that old game or Oregon Trail is essentially what it's going to become. So we can assign a few various different tasks to our different people, and we can also assign them different rations. So right now we're carrying 70 rations, and what we're going to do is first and foremost assign auto-assign the rations so everybody gets a little bit of food, and because we have 11 people, we're going to have to spend 11 rations this turn. We're going to put the doctors on the herbalism task, so they'll be converting the herbs down here into medicine, which is rather helpful. We'll be getting the hunters over here to actually do some hunting, so hopefully they'll be able to generate some meat for us. Oh, it looks like we'll be able to get the scholar to go hunting as well. Can we get any other people to go hunting? Yeah, we can, but it's not going to be very effective. So we'll essentially just get these scouts to be patrolling. Patrolling gets goods for us. It'll essentially find random events and find random foodstuffs and just a ton of stuff for us. In the meantime, we're going to send our guards to guard our little camp, and then that'll essentially be the first day. So it looks like what happened. Our defenses hold up. Our people processed 12 herbs into medicine, like I said I would. We gained some oil found in a half-empty barrel, and it looks like we also gained some meat. So that's pretty cool. I'm not sure what the oil actually does though, so it'll be rather interesting to find that out. In the meantime, let's go on forward and let's see if we can find that fortress or whatever room thing we're supposed to deal with. Ton of goods over here. I think the green stuff over there is the herbs, and then these treasure chests are obviously, well, treasure chests, right? Oh, there's a beaten path up over here, but it looks like we're going to have to make camp again. I'm essentially going with the same plan this time. I'll just auto-assign the rations this time. So then, now that we have 4 meat, we can just kind of use those instead of spending anything. And it looks like we've ran into a random event. The general mood is good during the evening meal. Your people manage to put the dangers of the land and the general troubles of adventuring life out of their minds and enjoy their meals while sharing stories from the homeland. Nevertheless, you notice Antonio finishing his meal rather quickly and sneaking off to the woods with a rather large hunter's sack. Finish your meal and go out to look for him. You follow his path, having no trouble tracking his footprints in the soft mud. You find the doctor just out of the earshot of the camp, kneeling over a large patch of moss, animal entrails spread out before him. We confront him and asking him about what he's doing. He jumps. Batista, you followed me here from the camp? I only wished to make sure you were alright. Oh yes, of course. I'm grateful for your concern. Is there something wrong? I'm wondering what you were doing with those intestines. Well, let me first assure you there's nothing occult or demonic about this process. Enlighten me, please. Have you ever heard of the heuristic? Divination by animal entrails? It's an ancient practice, quite harmless except to the animal, I suppose. Are the animals not supposed to be correctly sacrificed? He scratches the back of his head sheepishly. I helped out in the kitchen tonight. Come to think of it, you often volunteer for the kitchen. It's a waning art, so rare as to not even merit the wrath of the church. I know that none of the other practitioners in Spain, other than myself and my long-departed master. Can I deduce that you learned this art from the same master who taught you medicine? He laid the foundation for my knowledge. Yes, I always more interesting in the path. Much to my dismay, he has taught something else. So you're essentially a druid. You see why I'm so secret about my education. Well, we're gonna tell him to keep that to himself. Your discretion means a lot to me, Captain, so I'm essentially just trying to keep our morale high. Um, let's say don't stay up too late. I don't want you getting caught by the natives after all. And that'll be day 2, so I don't really know what'll happen after that event. Maybe something. Ooh, I think I saw something when I tilted the screen over there. So I don't know necessarily what's going to happen from there. Maybe some good stuff, maybe some bad stuff. But it looks like we found that little ancient fort ruins that I was talking about. So let's see what happens when we go next to it. Approaching the ruins, you hear sounds of low primal chanting emanating from somewhere inside the clearing. It looks like men with. It looks like the pagans are preparing a ritual. We're going to assess the risk and see what it is all about. Before, in front of the pagans, it looks like we see some bows and some scattered swords, shields, and spears. On the spears, it looks like there were some. No, yeah, it looks like there were some spears with heads impaled upon them into the ground. So we're given the option of attacking right now, withdrawing to return at dusk, or alternatively we can approach the natives with our weapons sheathed. Like I said, most of the conflicts inside this game can actually be solved by talking to people, so long as you have like the required prerequisites. I believe we picked up one person. I think we picked up Polides over here, or no, we picked up somebody. We picked up Isabella over here, who was part of Columbus's crew, and she can apparently communicate with the natives. They can speak the same language. So I'm actually going to approach with our weapons sheathed. And well, I know we're doing a lot of talking right now, and I'm going through a lot of dialogue, but I really want to explore the dialogue options and really just go through the game and you know, just kind of see the peaceful way first. You appear at the edge of the jungle, and the half nearest pagans shout in alarm, and soon a half-dozen of cultists form a semicircle around you with their weapons ready, but at least they're not pointing them at us yet. A woman with a large headdress appears, whom we presume to be the leader. We tell her that we aim for no harm, we mean them no harm, we are simply here to learn about what happens at the ruins. Our translator steps out of the jungle and translates our words, and the chieftain replies that they are whomever, somebody, tribal chef of this particular tribe. You are a tribe. You have the chief replies, perhaps a little surprised that we could not tell. You have interrupted it looks like we've interrupted their little ritual here, and well, they ask about purpose. Well, let's ask them what about the ritual. So it looks like every single year they bring their preserved elders' heads up to this particular monument for a bonfire, a ritual that has been passed down from generations. Well, as you can see here, we can either start combat, where we can actually use our diplomacy to essentially try to solve some of our problems. I'm gonna take the diplomatic route because it's an easy stat check from the looks of it, so we're gonna go with that. We ask them to finish their ritual, although leave the ruins afterwards. It looks like one of our crew members over here, which I believe is which one of them is he? See him? No. Something Pintado. Yeah, it looks like one of our, this guy right here, he has a problem with us solving this diplomatically, and this is all playing into the overall character's system. So he's still fairly enthusiastic. He still has that 7 morale points, but he's a little upset at the fact that we've chosen to ignore the tribal men's we've turned a blind eye to the natives, simply because he has this pious trait, and this pious trait is essentially he's a very religious person, and he doesn't feel like respecting the nobles the people's customs is necessarily particularly right. He claims that their ritual is ungodly. Well, his opinion is valued, of course. However, we will leave these people in peace, and we will just, continue forward. Ooh, there seems to be a lot of herbs here, so I'll definitely take those out. I'll definitely start harvesting those, and I'll actually give this guy 2 rations, so hopefully he'll be in a bit of a better mood later on. Okay, so after that night, it looks like we gained quite a lot of medicine. We actually found some medicine on a dilapidated corpse, and it looks like we found 11 meat, or rather we've hunted. It's some sort of large animal. We've gained quite a lot of meat, gained quite a lot of medicine, and we should be good for now. I don't believe we've checked out this part of the map yet, so let's go over here. We still have quite a little bit of rations left, right? There we go. So in the meantime, I believe we still have some herbs that require converting, so I guess it'll be pretty useful to just kind of use another day and do that. Your guards failed to have stopped the wild animals making off with some of our rations. Oh no, it looks like we lost a little bit over there. I'm getting a little worried about our ration supply, so I think I'll stick to the coast, because this game does have a really adventurous theme to it, and with that being said, they don't actually. I don't believe there is a map for the overview here, so I'm not really sure how this is necessarily going to go. Oh, there's a little chest here with some goods in it. That's rather cool. Okay, well, we're gonna come up here, check out what's over here. Found a chest of gold, and now I feel like returning back, because we're starting to run a little low on food. I probably should save the game right here. We already have a file done here, just in case we run out of supplies. Now, if I remember correctly, we went over here. Oh, yeah, some of these random events will pop up as we journey throughout the unknown illness. The path you and your company are on must take a particularly rough and trying route through dense vegetation. You notice that one of our party members has been looking particularly fatigued until the hunter moaned with pain and collapses. Your people gather around. Stand back, everyone. Give him space, said one of the doctors. We will remain silent and watch the proceedings. It looks like she has a very strong fever and has not seen any other symptoms yet. It's some sort of disease, I can't tell which. It could just be a cold, or she'll be out of commission for a little while. Have the servants clear a place on the carts for her. So unfortunately, it looks like one of our characters is, one of our explorers is down for the count for now. Ooh, another one. Much to your surprise, she made a fast recovery since yesterday. That will be very useful, seeing as how she was that person was one of our hunters, which are well, they're useful to say the least, because they can actually get us some food and keep our supplies working. Ah, we gained 9 meat this turn, so that's rather good. At least our supplies aren't running low, so at least all of that stuff is alright. And it looks like we found our way back to the camp. Another life, you decide to join the hunting party tonight for a change of pace. Just outside of the city too. The group has split up to track different sets of animal footprints, and you find yourself partnered with Alejandro Pintano. He is a fine hunter, and you're struggling to keep up while tracking your quarry. He imparts several helpful tricks to you. He seems to be in an increasingly good mood as you respectfully accept his knowledge. This reminds me of hunting with my father when I was young. Now the roles are reversed. Your father, the whatever. He was back then. His estate was modest, but all forest. We did a lot of hunting together. What happened to your father? He shakes his head and says, politics. remain silent. We'll just remain silent, and then yeah. And looks like after a while he started talking again. Did you find it hard to get used to living like this? Always on the go, resting in the wilderness? No, I too grew up with a father who liked hunting. Ah, there we go. So because we chose the right option here during this little random event, we were able to boost his morale. We made that connection between us being the captain, or the leader of the expedition, and him. So hopefully that put his morale back up at 9. This was the same person who I believe had some problems with our native relations. He raises his eyebrows appreciatively and says, "Is that so?" Another period of silence passes. You feel so close to God out here. This guy really enjoys hunting. Okay, fair enough. So we're back in the city, so the game runs on real time now. Let's see what actually happens if we go to the church. The cathedral is still under construction, though it is still holding sermons. Let's attend one of those sermons. It looks like after the sermon, the monk, the Franciscan monk who delivered the sermon, called Caro, or something like that, stands at the door to thank everybody for attending as they leave. Before we leave, it looks like he has a message for us. It looks like the captain of the guard inside this particular town has mentioned our passing, and it looks like he has some work for us. So we'll ask him if he has any messages to deliver for us. Apparently we do have a map. In a manner of speaking, he wants us to bring some Bibles to the people of Santiago. We ask him if Bibles are truly what the people need most, and he replies saying that regular caravans of important supplies are made between Santo Domingo and Santiago, although this is a special shipment. We accept his little request, and off we go. Let's talk with some of the people around here. Concerned woman flags you down in the street. Captain Batista, a moment of your time, if you would be so kind. Make it quick, Sonera. I humbly ask you that you keep away your men from our young girls. The arrival of your contingency has caused quite a stir. My troops are gentlemen, and I assure you that they would never dream of imposing themselves. Thank you. Okay, so this is okay, so that was just a fairly simple random event. Okay, so that's pretty nice. Because we are running out of food, let's go down to the market. No, actually, before we do that, let's go down here to the governor and see what he wants. He immediately greets us and asks about the news in regards to the pagans. We reply that they have vacated the ruins and will not be using it any longer. Now that we've dealt with the rebels, the governor is satisfied that we've gotten rid of them, although he fears that they may be back. He's paid us a nice handy-dandy sum of 1,000 valuables for our troubles. Okay, so we can either tell him that's very generous of him, and if there are any other problems that we could solve, and let's actually go with that. You make your point with elegance, he compliments us, and he actually raises the amount of money that we will be getting. Now let's talk about the rebels that he has wanted us to deal with. Now I kind of already did this a little bit, so I kind of know what that was all about. But earlier he did talk about some rebel stuff. There were apparently 2 rebel parties here. To think that, well, let's ask who leads them. As far as he knows, there are 2 rebel leaders. One, a mountain man who was a notorious brawler in Spain, and the other one who is near the northern coast, who is more known in Santiago. So what shall we do about them? The rebels must be defeated at all costs, and it looks like he's given us the 2 locations and have put them on the map. As the other group, they are located somewhere else, and I think this Esteban will be a priority, so we will go for him. It looks like I believe the quartermaster is looking for us again, who so happens to be, I believe, over here. Wealthy merchant, captain to what do I owe this honor? You have me at a disadvantage here. Oh, I beg your pardon. My name is Fernando something something, merchant liaison to the royal court. We saw your ship come into the harbor the other day. It's comforting to have a fresh contingent of noble Spanish soldiers to protect us from the savages. We ask, do they have a lot of problems with the savages? He replies that there have been a few complaints and a few tribes out there resisting our dominion, but everything should be fine under the presence of our own troops. We ask him, does the captain not have it under control? He replies that the captain of the guard does what he can, but well, he's not as proactive as he used to be. It looks like, we'll say to him that we'll be not staying for long and we'll be arranging an expedition to the mainland. He is sorry to hear that. He asks us if we seek to conquer territories for the glory of King Carlos. We say something like, yep, it is our highest aspiration to do that. Okay. And, well, he replies that then I'm sure we will. He says that we seem very driven for a very young man. If we wish to follow the footsteps of whoever that is, we must be careful not to end up the same way as him. We ask him about this particular person. It turns out he was also a expedition leader. During his first expedition to the mainland, the captain's ships left the ports with 300 troops and never returned. Well, we say to him that we are bringing a very small fraction of the troops that he's brought, and we will not be waging a war of that kind. We tell him that we must be on our way. So first and foremost, I need to check how do we access our map. Yeah, there should be a map. Ah, there we go. Okay, so that looks like, yeah, that's Santiago. That's the mountain mines that we're supposed to check out. Point of interest, point of interest. Oh, so there is a little map here. Oh, that's rather nice. Okay, well, like I said, we are to stock up on some food first and foremost. So it looks like, well, we'll first find the captain on guard and see what he wants. When we find him in the market, he greets us and he says he asks if we received his message, and did we have? Well, it looks like we were. It says he needs some battlefield barricades because he is hosting a training battle this afternoon, and he must arrange the battlefield to teach his men flanking and similar maneuvers. We ask him if anybody here actually sells barricades. Well, he says that nobody actually sells them, although he is able to construct them himself out of rubbish here at the market. We ask him if he is willing to show us how to build these barricades, and, well, he gladly accepts, and so we shall start another practice battle. With that being said, we have gained the ability to craft a few things. So, once again, we're going to jump into another battle. This time we get to play with 6 different troops. I think I'll get a good amount of, yeah, like 1 doctor and then a whole bunch. Oh wait, no, we only have 4 soldiers, so I guess we'll go with 4 soldiers, 1 doctor and 1 scout, and then go to battle. Okay, so in some certain battles, it looks like we'll be able to prepare certain things beforehand. And in particular, we have well, we have 3 barricades that we can essentially put down. So yeah, we can put down some junk barricades just like that, and I think 2 of them will actually suffice for now. Actually, yeah, I guess we'll do something like that. Something like that, so So we should be able to still shoot. No, we don't. We actually don't even have any ranged weapons, so nothing really matters here. We will just place down those barricades, just kind of as a training demonstration type of thing. And, well, let's get on started with fighting these people. So let's run him up there. Let's get our troops ready for battle. So we're going to send everybody up into this little area right here, and really push the fighting to them. Oh, I think this is the scout unit who's able to move so fast. So there we go, we've assembled our little line of people. Now it's their turn. They're gonna try to get a few of these shots off at us. They might hit one or two, but oh, this guy can actually fire twice. Oh, that's not very good. Oh, I hope they don't take him out. There we go. The guy with the bow right there. Okay, so it looks like Rita Martinez over here has been hit quite hard. We're gonna get our doctor to come over here and heal her up. At least that way she'll be able to at least, you know, take another hit. And let's try to bash this soldier in. Yeah, there we go, do some damage. In the meantime, let's get our forces to come over here to the flank and do some damage here. Likewise, we'll get the scout in, and it looks like this is actually a really good flanking position, so try to do some damage like that, just like that, yeah. And unfortunately, one of our people over here is, well, is stunned, so we can't really do much about them. On to the next turn. They're trying to flee, that's why we got a nice little hit off there. Yeah, it's because they entered our zone of control. Now, the only problem is whether or not we can live through that hit. It doesn't look like we can. So if we have a high enough ranked doctor, in theory we could actually resurrect them or save them rather, but unfortunately we do not, so we weren't able to do that there. Now, since this is a training battle, nothing really happens, even though our character has been wounded right there. However, inside a real battle, we would have presumably taken some sort of out-of-game damage on the main campaign map. Oh, that was nice. Yeah, this guy's managing to block mustard shots with his little shield. Okay, well, I have a feeling we can get some flanking hits on this guy, so let's get right over here. We should be able to get 2 nice flanking hits on him. Yeah, there we go. That should take him out. Nicely done. Over here, we could risk getting the doc to go over from the back and stab this guy, but I have a feeling that's not really worth the effort. I'm going to see if we can just kind of take him out from the front over here. Yeah, because even if we can't, we can get the doc to make a little, you know, just a little stab and take him out like that. Ooh, can you move? Yes, you can. Get you to move over there. Get you to set up over there. Something like that. There we go. So these training battles are pretty easy, but the actual, like, in-game combat is actually fairly difficult, I'm not gonna lie. Let's get a few good hits on this good gentleman right here. There we go. So with that said, we'll pull this guy out. He'll take 1 hit right there, no big deal though. Get the doc to step in. Make a little stab like that. Oh no, whoops. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. But no worries. There we go. Should be able to finish him off now. Let's get this guy to actually move 1 tile over so we can get those flanking hits in. Because I find it that, like, most of these people, they only do about 20 some damage, and if we can just simply go around them, even let them have, like, one of those attacks of opportunity, still doesn't do much. So when all of his, when all of the captain of the guard's men are down, our people help him up, and everybody shakes hands. It looks like whoever person and the captain are talking, so we decide to join them in conversation. Well fought, he compliments us, and the other person, the quartermaster and the captain of the guard, both agree. The men tend to the quartermaster replies that the men tend to pull their their own punches a little when they're fighting their own. It's true, throw away the contingent as opponents and suddenly honor is at stake and they fight like soldiers. Our troops should spar more often, Captain. Well, though we do have important business, a good fighting tournament would be pretty fun. The quartermaster smiles and shakes on it. I shall make arrangements right away. This will be a contest to remember, mark my words. Okay, so that's well, that's all well said and done. Looks like there is another little event here. I'm going to check this one out just before we enter the market. As we pass by a large home, a man comes out and asks, "Excuse me, Senor, a moment of your time, please." We ask him what he wants. He asks us if we are the captain, and he hesitates. He wonders if we are perhaps willing to do something for him. We ask him if we've ever been introduced, and well, it looks like he is the treasurer to the governors of Santo Domingo, Felix Batista. Now, what is this task? It looks like his wife is a soldier under the captain of the guards' command. She was sent on a patrol onto the mountains northwest of here, but her detachment hasn't returned. Yet they are weeks overdue. Besides myself with worry. How may we be assistance? If you only send some of your troops looking for her, as I said, I will pay you for their time. I just know that she may be alive. Yeah, sorry about that. It looks like I'm like jumping in and out of third person, which is which is a little hard to follow. I'll try to stay a little more consistent. I just realized that. So yeah, he asks us if we are able to go and search for her. As he said, he repeats that he will pay us for our time. Well, but he is unable. But he's quite shaken up. Well, we'll tell him that we will go and look for his wife. He thanks us and he tells us her name and well, what she looks like. Okay, so that's all done. Finally, now let's go and buy some of our resources. We can purchase some materials for barricades. So it looks like we can buy the amount of stuff needed for 2 barricades at 500 valuables. Well, because we have a high diplomacy stat, let's try to haggle it down. We get the price down to 300 valuables, and it looks like we'll accept that simply because those barricades do come in handy. After that, we'll trade for a little bit of food. For some reason, food is actually crazy expensive. So buy a little bit of that, and well, we'll finish off here. So be sure to like and subscribe. Next episode, we will go back out into the unknown, and we'll finish some of these quests that we've taken up. I'll see you guys then. Bye bye.